It's a little bit nicer out today, but I still got to prepare for the apocalypse.
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the Tahoe closest starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye.
Well, I was gonna save this for when I do the installation video for the 4-piece trimmer rack and the 2 backpack blower racks on the open trailer, but I keep getting bombarded. Even though I said it'll be in that video, I keep getting bombarded with people really wanting to know why I switched from Equipment Defender over to Green Touch. So it's not a big conspiracy thing or a big, to do like I think a lot of people are thinking about, but I did it for a couple different reasons, and I will give you those reasons right after I show you this here. So as you can see in the pictures, I just put those racks on in spring of 2019. I believe it was springtime that I put them on there. And I used the open trailer during the hot months of the summer. You guys know I use the enclosed for the first 2 or 3 months. Then I switch to the open, and I run the open all summer long because when it gets really hot, really muggy, the humidity is really high, the equipment just doesn't cool down from lawn to lawn in the enclosed trailer, even with the upgraded vent system that I put in there. It just doesn't cool down enough, which was causing a lot of my equipment to vapor lock. So anyway, I go the open trailer, and then come September or so, I switch back to the enclosed when things start to cool down. So those racks were on there for a period of the summer, and they sat on that trailer outside all this past winter, which, as you guys know, we really didn't have any snow. I think I went out 4 or 5 times the entire winter, and usually I'm out 20 times for a winter. Usually we get a lot of freezing cold temperatures, a lot of ice rain, a lot of all that kind of stuff. Didn't get any of that this year, and that trailer just sits and it's not anywhere near a road, which in New York State they use nothing but salt on the roads. There's no sand, there's no salt sand mix, nothing but salt, which will quickly do that to metal or steel over less than a month. So that trailer wasn't exposed to any of that, just snow and just the cold. So that's what happened to those racks, those Equipment Defender racks, and some of the chipping that come off that allowed it to rust over the winter happened in the summer just from normal use. You guys know I don't beat on my stuff. I'm very good with maintenance and very good at taking care of my stuff. Not beating on nothing. That stuff started chipping off like a month into using it, and then as a result it chipped even more over the winter, just the cold temperatures, and it rusted. Now, I know these things will happen, okay? Maybe that's small. And a lot of people have said in the past that, you know, I have had issues with the paint fading and stuff on my Green Touch equipment. And there's a little bit of a story on that. I won't go into detail. The owners can go into detail on that with you. But the way I've heard it from people I've talked to is they had a company that was doing their powder coating, Green Touch did, and that company was watering down their mix. So they've since gone to a new company and that isn't watering down the mix and isn't doing that. So now all their new line that's out shouldn't have any issues with fading. Definitely won't have any issues with chipping paint, nothing like that. So anyways, that takes care of that. So I emailed Equipment Defender a few times and they never got back to me. And then finally somebody did get back to me and said, you know, well, we'll offer you, if you want to upgrade them to new ones and get rid of those ones, we'll offer you like a 10% discount or something they offered. And I was just thinking, you know, they already cost enough money. No, I'm not doing that. So I was in the market to look for new racks anyway. I wanted to finally do the enclosed trailer and get rid of all those old Home Depot racks in there. I wanted something more secure. Just with today's day and age, I'm in neighborhoods that, you know, a year, 2 years ago before, you never had to worry about people stealing your stuff. It just wasn't like that in my area. And now it's becoming more and more where people do. So I wanted the security of it in the enclosed trailer and definitely on the open trailer, which is why I went with the Equipment Defender in the first place, because of the security of it. So I knew I had to upgrade, and I was upgrading both trailers. So my decision had to come down to, was I going to go with Equipment Defender again and give it another chance to see if it holds up, you know, and I'm getting my hard-earned money's worth, or was I going to switch up? So I made a bunch of phone calls. And I talked to Brian Shane, I talked to Richie Plemons, I talked to a few other guys that I know all use Green Touch and have had them since day one, even when the old versions were out, and they all swear by them. Some of them complained about the fading of the powder coating, which now that's not an issue, so that really wasn't a big deal. But other than that, they love them. They would buy them again today. So I happen to know some of them guys are ambassadors for Green Touch. So then I started contacting some of my subscribers that I know use Green Touch but aren't ambassadors for the company. And I wanted their opinions. I didn't get any bad opinions from anybody I talked to. Everybody had nothing but great things to say. If there were any complaints, it was always the same thing. They faded, they faded, they faded. So now that I knew for a fact that that was already ruled out, because I contacted Green Touch and asked them, you know, I said, you know, I've been looking into your product, but this is the complaints I keep hearing from everyone that uses them. What is this going to do if I buy these? If I have this issue and that happens, what are you going to do for me? So then that's when I got the story of why it was happening and how they fixed it. They're very proactive. They hit it head on and they took care of it, knocked it out. Unfortunately, it's going to take a year or so for people to see that what they're saying is the truth, and that's not going to happen because they're just coming out now and with using the new company that's now taking care of all their powder coating. So like I said, unfortunately, it's going to take a year or so for people to realize, okay, they didn't fade and they were telling the truth. But either way, they jumped right on it and they took care of it. So I had all the information I needed. Like I said, I knew I had to upgrade. I knew I had to do something. So making that purchase for 2 trailers is a big purchase, especially for a small solo guy like me. It's big. So if I was going to use this stuff and then tell you guys why I switched to it and promote it to you guys, so to speak, and say, you know, this is worth it, I had to know that it was worth it for me, because you guys know, and I've said it many times, I've been contacted by many companies and I've turned many of them down just because I've seen their product used by other YouTubers and then seen them switch, or else I've seen other YouTubers promote that product and then I watch their daily videos or whatever, their regular videos, and that product isn't actually in their daily use, which tells me it's not good. So if they were really supporting that product they were pushing, you'd see it in every one of their videos, or at least a majority of them, and that just wasn't the case. So I had to know that if I was going to use this and spend my money on it and make it worth my money and my time, and tell you guys that it would be worth your money and your time, then it had to come down to something I believe in, something I had faith in, and something that I knew that I could stand behind and not feel bad about telling you guys that it was worth it. So that ultimately is why I end up going with Green Touch. Now, I do have one complaint about these Green Touch racks. It's not about the backpack blower racks, which I knew from day one that I love that rack because Ryan bought one last year when I bought the Equipment Defender backpack rack, and I installed on my Open. He installed the Green Touch one on his, and after using mine a couple times and the paint was chipping off, and then just the function of it, and then using his, I knew right away I liked his better. It was easier to use, it was a better setup, it was much better quality as far as I was concerned. The Equipment Defender one was still good, but I just definitely preferred the Green Touch one. So that was one of the things that pushed me toward looking into Green Touch in the first place, was seeing the backpack blower rack and using it on Ryan's trailer. So when it all came down to it, there was one thing that I didn't like, and it's with the trimmer racks. And it's not that it's a big deal. It's not a deal breaker by any means, because I knew this before I even got the trimmer racks. I already knew about this, but there's one thing that I would prefer Equipment Defender style over Green Touch, and this is it right here. So if I had to say there was only one setback going from Equipment Defender to Green Touch, and trust me, there is only one, for me anyway, I would say this would be it. To release the trimmer, you turn this handle, and once you do, it unlocks every single one of them. So if you're just pulling out, say, this one, and you unlock it, and your trailer's at a bit of an angle, this one or that one could potentially slide out of here. I like the Equipment Defenders where there's a push-up button on each one. So once it's unlocked, you can push up the one you want and pull it out, and it doesn't unlock the other ones. There's no way the other ones can fall out. Not a big deal, but again, if there was one setback going from Equipment Defender to Green Touch, that would be my only complaint. So when it really comes down to it, I really believe I made a good decision. I'm very happy with the product, and I already have plans to order more, like I mentioned in the backpack blower video I just did. And the next video you guys will see is me doing the full assembly and install of the trimmer racks. I've already done that video, recorded it. That one will pop up next. Probably won't be until tomorrow, when I recorded it and I uploaded it all onto my program. I haven't finished editing it yet, but you guys will see that one next. And I'm explaining that when I have ideas of more Green Touch stuff I want to do, especially with my fuel racks, and get those fuel cans off of my floor. It's a huge thing for me. I hit them, Billy hits them. It's only a matter of time before it's a big problem, big disaster. So that's a huge thing for me, and so that's probably going to be my next ordered item from Green Touch is something to take care of my fuel can issue, because it's very important, and it could be potentially be very dangerous. So I really need to get on that before the season kicks off here. But so I will, like I said, the next video you guys see will be the one of me doing the assembly and install of the trimmer racks inside the enclosed trailer. And then after that, I will get the full install video done on the open trailer. It won't be a 20-minute long video like the backpack one was, and like the trimmer rack in the enclosed is going to be. They're both long videos. There's nothing I could do. I wanted to show full assemblies and installs instead of just speed up video with music like a lot of guys do. I wanted you to see the full thing, the full aspect of it and what's involved. So I apologize now for those long videos, but it'll be just an install. I won't do an assembly on the open one, just an install, because I've already showed the assembly, and I'll make that one much shorter. But as always, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for subscribing. I'm about to hit 7,000 subs. I never would have dreamed in a million years that would happen. I know that's way below where a lot of other guys are, but to me it's a big deal, because I never thought that would ever happen. And I thank you guys very much for all of it and all the support you have given me. But hit that subscribe button. Hit like if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, and share it. Share the video if you like what you see. That's what helps me out and gives me the views and lets me know that this is actually worth my time making all these videos, because there's so much that goes into it. And for those of you that don't make videos, you couldn't understand the amount that goes into it, and the money it costs for the cameras, the editing programs, everything. There's just so much. So I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one.